Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? This is your girl, Splendora Styles. I hope y'all are doing alright today. I am doing alright today. Okay, jumping right in to part 3 of Lied to Disavowed, Get Caught in the Act. What am I talking about? This is what I'm talking about. We've been talking about coming out of contracts that we knowingly and unknowingly have made, right? And with ourselves, with life, with other people. And when you make a vow, an agreement, and a contract, especially when you're a child, and the older I get and the more I study and research, we make so many contracts when we're children that is incredible. It's crazy how we come to believe what we believe. We know it's because of the things that our parents, our teachers, preachers, leaders, entertainers, and everyone has demonstrated for us. You'd be surprised at the contracts you make from seeing something, hearing something, agreeing with it, or disagreeing with it. And it's disavowing is a process. In the past few weeks since I started talking about disavowing poverty, disavowing loneliness, disavowing rejection, disavowing failure, bad relationships and things like that, right? It is, watching my surroundings. But anyway, disavowing is a process. A lot of people tell me, or have told me, that their affirmations don't work. And I said, that's because your affirmations are going against your belief system. Until you break the contract that you made before, with the same fervency, with the same energy, with the same determination, okay, then they're not going to work, right? And I'm trying to focus. I got somebody in my corner, in my peripheral over here, and I'm trying to keep an eye on them, okay? But when you are making your affirmations and you're trying to change, that's the reason we make affirmations, to change, right? To get better, to do better, to become our more authentic self, And I've had to learn, y'all know me, I want to make sure I say it right. I've had to learn not to be angry, not to be upset, not to be disappointed with people who make their contracts with things that I feel are contrary. You know what I'm saying? And so that could be very disheartening. And I've had to watch people and myself go through the process. Disavowing is a process. Affirmations is a process of change. And a lot of people, they learn that they don't really want to change, or they want to change without doing the work. You can't change without doing the work. When you say something to the effect of, I disavow being unhealthy. So your body, your mind, your spirit, your psyche, your nervous system, your central nervous system, God, universe, hell. Okay, so you made an amendment. So that means that you now have to change. That means you have to stop doing what it was that you were doing to get to this point. You have to act on it. When I started having problems with my hands, and you guys, look at that. There was a time I couldn't do that without crying. I couldn't do that without pain. I could move them I could play the piano if I wanted to. But I had to change. I had to figure out what it was that I was doing that got me into this situation. Okay? Some things I'm dealing with, I can't do anything about. Some things I can do some things about. Okay? So I had to stop drinking the Dr. Pepper, the coffee, the sweets, the bread, the pasta. A lot of things I knew in my youth that I shouldn't have been eating because of the disposition that I had with the inherent weaknesses physically that I inherited from my mom, my dad, and ancestors, right? I knew that on my mom's side of the family, diabetes ran in the family. I had never ate that stuff when I was younger. Once I learned that this could give me diabetes and everything else. But over the years, I started eating it and eating it more and more. It didn't have a diabetic effect on me. It had an effect on my nerves, okay? And sometimes we don't understand the implications of what we're doing. And so we have to fall out of agreement with what's going on in our belief system. When you fall out of agreement, when you disavow, then your affirmations will stick. But when you say, I disavow, and things start coming to mind, walk, drink water, go to bed, do something that makes you happy. You have to do those things. Now, the title today is called Getting Caught in the Act. People need to see you change. Because some of us are in dynamics where we keep doing the same thing. They hurt us, we take them back. They lie to us, we take them back. They do stuff against us, we forgive. We keep forgiving. And you can always forgive. Don't ever not forgive. But at some point, somebody has to change the dynamic. And you will learn as you disavow. Certain contracts that you made with people will come up for validation for you to sign off on it. Just like at the job, when there's things that need to be done, you have to sign off and make sure everything was done. You know, just like I had mentioned before, that back here, January, February, I started praying to God, let me be around people that celebrate me and not tolerate me. Well, there were 4 relationships that I lost. One hurt me because I didn't realize. Okay, let me take that back. I did realize. I just was hoping it would change. You know, sometimes you're in a bad relationship with people. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your friends, your colleagues, associates, folks at the church. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want those relationships to change. You like the person. You see the best in them. And if you're like me, you try to bring out the best in them. Okay? And so, when you say your affirmations, when you say your prayers, when your prayers are getting answered, when you are disavowing, when you're retracting on something you didn't know that the consequences of, but once you see the consequences of it, you have the right to get out of it. Especially if it's not leading you to your destiny, especially if it's not facilitating your purpose. You know what I mean? If it's not facilitating what God created you to do, by all means, disavow it. By all means, change. Get caught in the act of changing. Get caught in the act of being different. Get caught in the act of walking away. Get caught in the act of no longer dealing with this, not going another further with this dynamic. They're not yours anyway. Sometimes people, we can be so concerned with who's not here, not realizing they're really not here. They're really not here with you anyway. They're faking whether you know it or they know it. Because, you know, people can only be what they are. And situations, circumstances, and trials and tribulations will let them know if they're real or not. It will let them know if they're solid or not. And we all go through that process. I don't care how much somebody looks like they are on 100, how much they look like they're batting 1,000. They lack somewhere. They get mad about something somewhere. And when someone has arrived, they went through so much work to get there. No one gets to 100. Nobody gets to number 1. Nobody gets to 1,000% without working. And we have got to fall out of love with the idea that we can get something for nothing. You get caught in the act of disavowing. It hurts sometimes. It bothers you sometimes. Sometimes you don't get the closure. Move on anyway. Sometimes you don't get the explanation. Move on anyway. Understand you're dealing with a coward. Understand that you're dealing with someone who is not emotionally, mentally, spiritually mature. They're not. And it can be bothersome too. It really can. It can be, for me, it's bothersome. It is bothersome for me that in our 50s and 60s and 70s, we have people out there who do not know how to communicate effectively. Don't have the nerve, the gall, the balls to talk. That bothers me. Even though for the most part I'm quiet, I still know how to get a point across. And maybe that's just a gift, a favor, a skill, a talent, or whatever it is. And I have to learn. I have to learn not to get angry and upset with people who do not have the capability. That's a journey for me, guys. That's a real journey for me. No, it's not always easy to say goodbye. No, it's not always easy to change. But if you're going to make it, if you're going to survive, if you're going to thrive, if you're going to fulfill the purpose for which you are created, you're going to have to change. And when you change now, understand that there are people connected to you that are going to go away. They're going to change as well. If they don't want to change to move up with you, they're going to change to stay where they are. That's their right. That's your right to move forward. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it misconstrued. Don't get it to where you are immobilized because of someone you love and care about. Because they fit the ideal of what you think a man is, or what you think a woman is, or what you think a relationship is. Don't get stuck on stupid. You understand what I'm saying? Some things we get into is no way out, which, I don't believe that. I don't believe there's anything as no way out, because the Bible says for every way in, there is a way out. You may not be able to take that way financially, physically, or whatever. But if that's something that's for you, I feel, if that's something you really want, I feel you'll get it. God will make a way. God, universe, hell will make a way for you to get whatever it is that you need. I've been a candidate of it too often, every single day. Okay? So, get caught in the act of disavowing. Because disavowing is a process. Disavowing is an action, a maneuver, a move. As we used to say, it's time to bust a move. It's time to do something. It's time to put your hand to the plow, as my daddy used to say. Old folks, Show them better than you can tell them, as my mama would say. My mom said, I can show you, but I can tell you. Because she knew that she had a limited vocabulary. She couldn't exactly verbalize some of the things that she was feeling. Some of the things that she was thinking. She didn't know the words for it. But she did know the actions. They say actions speak louder than words, and they do. They do. And just, is it a caveat? Okay, just to throw some, what is it? is we're going to put a footnote in it. Sometimes people don't act because they genuinely don't know what to do. They're genuinely not you. See, we have it in our own mind. Okay, when I say this, you say that. When I do this, you do that. Some people didn't get that script. Some people didn't get that background growing up. They don't have the same background as you. So please give people the benefit of the doubt and give them some grace and some mercy, because you're going to need it as well. Called miscommunication. Someone may really want to apologize, and you say, well, that's easy. It's easy for you. It's not easy for everybody. I'm learning that. It's easy for me to apologize. It's easy for me to say that I'm wrong when I'm wrong. It's easy for me to hear from someone I love when they tell me how I hurt them, or how they felt disregarded, or they felt like I didn't care, or they felt like I forgot about them. And I'm always grateful for someone to tell me how they honestly feel, or how I made them feel. You know what I'm saying? And I can apologize. I can say, oh, that wasn't the case. That wasn't my intention. I said that, but I didn't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's work. But get caught in the act of working on yourself, on your shortcomings, on your weaknesses. They say, buy your strength, invest in your weaknesses. That's what you have to do. Whatever you can do it to make yourself better. Do it. And understand, in you becoming better, you may lose some people. Not because they're not better. Not because they don't love you. But because they are happy with where they are. And maybe, just maybe, where they are is where they're supposed to be. Okay? So, get caught in the act. Get caught with your hand in the cookie jar. Get caught walking away. Get caught standing up for yourself. Get caught not putting up with all this crap. Get caught. Get caught. Okay? That's a good way to get caught in the act of becoming your best self, your authentic self, your real self. Don't back down for nobody. All right? I love you guys more than words can ever express. Bye now.